the same time, there's going to be a whole lot of money available to the family. So a couple other just random thoughts. The home could also be designated, she has a beautiful home that could be designated upon her death to go to her family giving fund or to another charity. And if she makes that election while she's alive, guess what? It will give another tax deduction, substantial tax deduction. I did this with another client. He was in his late 70s, she was in her early 80s, and their plans had been all along to give their home, beautiful home up in Rancho Santa Fe here in San Diego area, about $1.8 million home at the time. And so their plans had always been to give, after they both died, the home three ways, one to the Salvation Army, another one to Goodwill, and then to an animal rescue organization. But that was going to happen after they died. So I asked them, are you sure you want to do this? They said, absolutely. I said, you're not going to change your mind? I said, nope, that's our plan. It's a beautiful home too. I can see why they want to stay in there until they drag them out with their boots on, as the saying goes. Well, by going to the county recorder, we were then able to leave the three charities as residual beneficiaries. So it's what's called a life estate agreement. It has nothing to do here with Georgia, but kind of does if Georgia wants to do this. And in doing so, on that $1.8 million home that we've now said, guess what? It's going to go to these three charities after our clients are gone. Guess how much tax deduction they got? Over $1,334,000 on a $1.8 million home. So that saves a whole lot of taxes when you can create deductions like that. And we get 6 tax years to use that up. So that's what I'm saying, is that Georgia could also elect to have her home go to charity after she dies. So that way we can completely eliminate any federal estate tax, and any remaining assets that would ordinarily be subject to that 40% federal tax. We can have that go into a PPT or the family giving fund. Now, there's also something else we might want to think about, where we create a trust, that what I call a family legacy trust. A wonderful estate planning attorney by the name of Marv Blum that has created something. I've just put my own name on it, but it's designed, and Tom Rogerson too. Also, Tom is a family wealth strategist out of Boston. Phenomenal, both outstanding professionals in what they do. But the idea behind this trust is to create a trust that will not necessarily provide money or income to our beneficiaries, but instead use money that can be helpful to keep the family together, help instruct generation 2, 3, 4, 5, 20 on how to stay married, how to deal with conflict, how to avoid going into unnecessary debt. So to basically keep these families together generationally, because oftentimes when the parents die, they're the guardrails on the bridge. Here in San Diego, we have a beautiful 2.1 mile bridge that connects with a lovely city called Coronado. Now, the question is, if there were no guardrails on that $2.1 million bridge that goes over the bay, how many people do you think would drive that bridge? I know, as daring as I am, I'm not sure that I would do it, or I would hug that center line. But that's the idea, is how do we keep families together generationally when the guardrails, those are the parents, are gone? And in fact, in most cases, by the third generation, virtually all of the family wealth is gone statistically. But worse than that, the families themselves have fractured, and the families themselves are no longer even talking with each other. There's usually a fracture that's occurred by the second, and for sure by the third generation. So basically about 5% of family wealth and families themselves are still together at the end by the third generation. It's tragic, but that's what Tom Rogerson it does, and where this idea comes about of this legacy trust to help pass along the things that connect families together, so that for generations, it's not about the money, it is about the love and the family. And oh, by the way, you keep the family together, guess what? The wealth stays together too. So that's what I call a family legacy trust.